I don't want to be snarky, but, you know, it's been 4 days without any he-said-what moments from Donald Trump. Come on in, Scott Brown, former Republican senator from Massachusetts. You're a Trump guy. The media is waiting for him to say something that they can jump on. I don't think they've found anything yet. What do you say?
Well, not yet, and that's been the problem, Stuart. I've talked about it. We've talked about it on your show and other shows. You know, the unforced errors that basically, you know, have a great day, he'll give a great speech, and then he'll say something off the cuff, and that's the focus. And that's a problem, and those are mistakes. But the difference between his mistakes and Hillary Clinton's mistakes is that Hillary Clinton's mistakes have cost people their lives, or countries their sovereignty, or our country its national security. And that's the big difference. So there is a little bit of a double standard when it comes to those unforced errors or mistakes.
Before we move on, Scott, do you think he's going to be able to hold himself in and restrain himself and stay on message? Can he keep it up?
Well, first of all, that's one of the things people actually like about him is the fact that, yeah, he is a little bit politically incorrect sometimes, and he says exactly what he feels. He's not a seasoned politician, and that's somewhat the attractiveness. The fact that the media is just waiting for it and they kind of hammer him every time is a potential problem. But I and others have said, listen, you got to stay on message. You got to focus on our debt deficit, taxes, spending, jobs, national security, immigration. Drawing those distinctions between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are really important.
Now, we've got some evidence, new evidence, that independents are coming back to support Trump now that he is staying on message. This is very new. Watch this clip from his speech this week. The yellow line represents independents. Watch it go up. Roll tape.
Many other neighborhoods have suffered greatly. To every voter in Milwaukee, to every voter living in the inner city, or every forgotten stretch of our society, I'm running to offer you a much better future, a much better job.
Okay, they came down at the very end there, but for most of that clip, and indeed other clips, the independents were right up there, very much in agreement with the Republicans and Donald Trump. Again, this is a reversal of what we've seen for the previous couple of weeks.
Well, certainly, the election's not tomorrow, Stuart, and that's what apparently people think, oh, my God, it's over, the sky is falling. And that's typical to put a narrative forward and have that be the story versus actually what's out there happening. There are a tremendous amount of people who are still undecided, and they're going to come on board after, obviously, the kids get back to school and, you know, the summer's over. It's very typical. You're going to see polls having, you know, them up and down, and all over the place still. And I still think it's his to lose, because when you draw the comparisons between what he's representing and talking about and what she's actually done and continues to do, and the fact that people don't like her, they don't trust her, and she's such a flawed candidate, I think people want to go in a different direction.
You know, I've got a lot of friends and people up in Massachusetts know the area very well, and they're all asking me, is it safe to have a Trump bumper sticker? Is it safe to have a Trump yard sign in Massachusetts today? What's your answer?
Well, it's not only Massachusetts, it's throughout the country. You have people burning signs, damaging cars. It's a real problem. And it's that political correctness you talked about with General Flynn, by the way, just to kind of shift gears for a second. Yeah. The fact that our military is dealing in that political correctness, the rules of engagement are a real problem for our soldiers, men and women who are trying to fight that battle. It's kind of the same thing back home, that political correctness where, you know, you can't even be yourself and speak on who you want to support without the political elite, you know, in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and surrounding areas kind of hammering you for it.
Yeah, you got it. Scott Brown, always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us, sir. Appreciate it.
Stuart.
Yes, sir.